Welcome back, boys and some girls. Playing around with your crew can be a little bit confusing at times, so I just thought that I might as well just share with you what I do know about how your crew works and what goes with what. As a start, you need to recruit people into your crew. Now you have two basic options. Number one is the recruit page, where you have 5 people here you can recruit from, and the second option is through the missions. Sometimes when you check the headquarters, one of the mission will be to rescue an individual and he will then join into your crew. If you go into recruitment, you will see them here right at the reserves, and they have a higher chance to become legendary or become rare, basically be of a higher quality. And a small tip for the recruiting right here: if you don't like what you see, because most of them will be pretty much all-rounders with no exceptional skills, you can also just recruit them. I can't do it because my crew is currently full. You can recruit, then go back to your crew. The guy will be on the right, how many people you have, it will be right on the far right. Then you can click and you can dismiss the guy. And once you dismiss the guy, then a new one will spawn right here. They will always spawn on the right, just so you know. There is a very important tip I learned from playing the game, is do not upgrade your crew level. Do not do that. Keep it at the minimum level that you can. Maybe boost it to like level 10. I don't remember what's the most basic level, but don't go too high, because if you increase your level, then once the people die, because they eventually die to something, then the guys you will see right here will be level 40, and it will be very hard for you to level them up to whatever you want, because you can see the points are not really what you want. Let's say I want this guy to be a driver. Let's say this guy is supposed to be a drummer because he has the Badlanders the highest possible, right? He's level 40. To maximize him, to bring him to the max level of drummer, I need 4 more levels, so I need to level him up to 44. 4 levels from 40 to 44 will be much harder than just take somebody here that I have from my reserves that's level 27 to level him 4 levels. But this guy is not going to have the same amount, so it kind of evens out, but it's much easier to take the ones that are low level, like basically level 0, and level them up again, because it's much easier. The only difference is that you need to make sure what their stats are, like the levels and stuff, because it does affect your stats and whatever perks they have, because some of them might have a special perks that you can only get from taking them through missions. Also, on perks can either be just positives, for example this one reduces your waste recharge time, or like this one can be also a debuff, and so a positive and a negative. It can be either this or this, but it can't really be never just a negative. Let's go over stats. Now this is good that I have a free level up, because it will be easier for me to show you what each one of them does. Now if you go here into your crew right here and you choose an individual, then you'll be able to go into 3 different windows. We will speak about the gear later on. First, let's focus the skills, because those are the most basic things that give you the most effect to whatever you're trying to do. So for example, this guy is a driver. You can rename them by pressing this little thing right here and change their second name, because this is the thing that will show up. Their first name won't show up, the second name will show up. You can also change how they look, their eyes, their hair, the body type. You can do whatever you want. You can play with it as much as you want. If you want specific guys to get, and you can see just how many things you can actually do. It's pretty crazy. So back to the points. For example, this guy is a driver. So what I want to max on him is the petrol head, which gonna give me, I can't even increase it anymore, but just so you see, these are the stats that will be affected. Walk speed is always going to be affected by things, mostly equipment. So heavy equipment will make you slower, but again, we'll touch on it later. Nitro recharge rate, because you can boost with your vehicle. If you remember the previous video I made about the vehicles, then you can basically boost. Defenses, driving skill, which basically just impacts how you react to your actions. It's pretty crap anyway, the AI is pretty shit. And fuel efficiency, which just as it says, how much fuel you use, and ramming damage. Ramming damage isn't really effective unless you're fighting against really small vehicles and you run onto them pretty fast. Then we do a decent amount of damage. You can also, if it's small enough, you can one-shot the vehicle with ramming damage if you have like a specialized thing on your front of the vehicle. But it's not really effective. I wouldn't really worry too much about this, basically. Whenever you level up a skill, you also unlock station abilities. So this guy's a driver, so he unlocks things like, for example, fast travel. There's a point on the map where you have a very long highway that if you basically stay on one side and you press this button, it's going to teleport you to the other side of the highway, even if you haven't been there yet. It's a pretty useful skill to save some driving time, but there is not that crap ton of highways in the map, so it's not extremely useful. Next one is going to be the swerve. I will also show you this, but you basically raise your evasiveness. This is a 180-degree turn. This is just smash to the left, and this is smash to the right. You also, with the skills, unlock perks. Now you can see that each one of them give you a lot of stuff. Now if you go here to perks, because it's much easier to show you here, you see the ones that have equipped. Now, because it's so deep, the amount of skills you can equip actually depend on other things. For example, Boy Scout, if you increase it high enough, I think it's like for 15, I will be able to get another perk slot. I'm pretty sure it's every 3 or every 5, not sure exactly what the number is, but you're able to get up to 5 perk slots if you increase Boy Scout. So you can see that you can play with it, and also you don't need just the main stat for the guy, right? So things for driving can be ramming immunity, so you don't get stunned from when somebody runs into you from the side. You can also have things like you get health whenever you're boosting, which can be amazing because then your driver don't have to leave the cab to get healed. Because imagine that you're driving and you need to heal the driver, but then if he gets out of the vehicle, nobody's driving, then you're gonna stay still and die. So there is some perks that are actually useful. Some of them will come up later, some of them come up sooner, but they are very useful to have. Going back to the skills, let's just go over the very generalized things. Life Force, you can actually see this will happen when I upgrade this. Bleed out time, so if I get damaged and I actually get downed, it's gonna take 70 seconds for me to die instead of 68 seconds. This is how much HP I'm gonna have, which means how much damage I can take. And this basically health after the revive is how much health I'm gonna have after I revive. Then no, crazy special, who could have guessed that? Beefiness. Beefiness is also very useful because it increases your max gear weight. This is maybe the most important thing about this. Also, it increases your walk speed, which is great. For a driver, it's not really amazing because he never leaves anyway, he just stays still. Defenses, always good. Stun resistance, always good because there is not going to be a chance where the vehicle is not going to be drivable. So that's very nice. Max gear weight. It's extremely important because even now, and I finished the game, I'm just not gonna farm it, but I can't really wear what I want because there is a max weight. You can see that I'm almost touching the maximum weight, and you can't equip things after the maximum weight. So even if I equip something, it would just actually, let's do that. Let's craft. You see, I can craft and equip, and if I try to leave, it will say, do you want to revert or do you want to edit your crew gears again? I'm gonna obviously revert it. So you can't really do that. So you have to increase your beefiness to a certain level to play with it more. Now we already spoke about Patrol Head, and that's pretty much it for them. Well, let's skip to the next one. Now let's go for the Captain. Captain is the one that uses Boy Scout. Boy Scout, obviously all those things. We talked about perk slots. Oh, I thought it was going up to 5. I guess I'm wrong, it's going up to 6. My bad. It also increases your revival, how fast you can revive your crew, and your bleeding resistance. Because there's also a bleeding effect that people can do on you if they throw like daggers at you or saw blades. You can basically bleed to death. So this makes it so you have a much higher resistance to that effect. Your commander, as you increase his Boy Scout level, can also call for backup. You can call for refuel. You can call for a better backup. You can also get the, what is called, double experience or 50% experience, my bad. Even bigger backup, which is amazing. You can have the thing, I forgot what it's called. It's just something for finding nearby caches. It's nice, but you can also see them with your eyes, so it's not crazy good. And the last one is blood donor. If your rejuvenator is just empty for some reason, I don't know why it would ever be, but if it is, you can donate your blood to basically increase that. That's simple and nice stuff. Now the Captain, when you unlock his perks, as I said, every single one of them has perks that they unlock once you level up to a certain level. I'm not gonna go after every single one, but in general, for example, you can get more HP, basically heal, after you finish your main mission objectives. This is very nice and very useful because sometimes you don't want to get your people out of their chairs and out of their stations, and it will kind of help you. You just need to do even side missions and you will get healed. Pretty useful. One role before the last, we're going to talk about the drummer. Our friend here, the drummer, use Badlanders. Now obviously this is going to increase his drums effectiveness, and drums are dependent on whatever drums you use. But he can also have an active skill, basically, that expands the area of the buffs that it gives. Let's just show you very quickly, for example, what I use. I'm using, where is it? This one. This one gives me 60% gunning damage and 10% gunning range. And you can see that's the basic range of it. And if I press space while in combat, it will increase even further. We'll show you all of this in the combat section at the very far end. Besides increasing his size, he can also stun people, which is extremely useful. It's so good. You can summon in rain, and he can heal your guys, which is maybe, I think, by far the skill that I enjoy using the most. It can save you from pretty horrible situations if used correctly. Our very last role is the gunner. Gunner, pretty simple, just shoot and deal damage. You can increase his stat for more accuracy, so the weapon accuracy is going to be 100. The vast damage, I can't even speak. Waste damage, gunning range, gunning damage, all of these things relate to deadliness. And you can change, obviously, and modify things a little bit more using equipment. We will touch about this very soon, don't worry. And the skills, the perks that you unlock using leveling up the skills is things like more damage after you defeat a bunch of them, or being able to use your station even if you don't have the power requirements, because some of them actually require power or fuel, or I forgot what the term, a compressor, a bunch of them. So it works for a while even if you don't have whatever you need, which is extremely good. Now let us talk a little bit about gear. Each piece of gear actually gives you different stuff. So if you click on it, you don't have to equip it and craft it just yet, but you will see what you lose and what you gain. So if I equip absolutely nothing right now, what I would do is I would lose all these effects that I'm actually getting from having this Giggle's nose, this kind of helmet. You would see what I'm losing. I would lose ramming damage. That's the reason why I have it on my driver, because ramming damage, walk speed, a bunch of defenses, and toxic defense. So it's a pretty decent item for your driver. If you want more defenses, you can go with different stuff. You can just play with it. There's so many items, Like you can see how many helmets you have. It goes beyond the thing. That's crazy, but most of them are not useful. You won't use like 90% of them, so don't worry about that. That's how simple it is. And the same thing goes for different stuff. So whatever you wear, let's say this one has his fuel efficiency going on. So if I change something to this, I'm going to lose fuel efficiency. It's going to drop to 200%, but I'm going to gain gunning damage. But it's not useful on my guy, and walking speed is also not useful on my guy, so I'm just going to keep it as it is, because that's what it's useful for. Now, all of them are pretty much the same individual stats. Let's go for a gunner. This one probably gives him, you can see this one gives him the gunning range, because it has spec ops gloves, a little bit of walking speed, and waste recharge time. It's also going to give him defense, but most of my guys are already defended in their stations, so I don't really worry too much about what kind of defenses they have. I would like to give them better things, but obviously their weight is not high enough yet. You saw this one is only like 30, so it's basically nothing. I can't even give him anything. You can see this is kind of what I want to look the rest of my guy. This is what I want my guys to look like, right at the very end. But some of them are a bit different because they don't have, I mean, all the gunners should look like this. The driver looks like this one, commander like this, drummer like this. It's just a bit, things change depending on their weight, but once you learn to play with it a little bit more, then it just becomes super easy and super simple. You kind of realize that, again, most of the clothes are not needed. The only special thing is the holster, which you can equip. What the frick? I didn't even know I unlocked that. That's pretty cool. You basically can equip some stuff that during the combat, some kind of enemy will be dropped on your ship. Wrong game. On your truck, and you will have to fight it. Hand-to-hand combat. So if you give your guys guns, machete, or katanas, they will actually be able to fight and deal more damage and kill the intruder faster than just going fist to fist. and they will also take less damage from it. So that's also useful to give to them, but same as all the other things. Weight, it increases your weight. Increases your weight. So you need to think on what you're doing, what you're equipping, and what you're giving them. I'm not going to go over every single one, but you can guess that things have sets. So for example, the clown set is going to give you point resistance and defense versus toxic. So if I equip the entire clown set, I'm going to get almost like, I think 75% poison resistance and 75% defense versus poison. It's very good, very useful, but it's not really necessary because you're never attacked, almost never attacked by just one thing. So just having overall average defenses is probably going to be the most efficient for you. Now we talked about all of this too long. I'm actually going to give you a very short explanation or a short... Let's do this small escort mission to actually show you what I mean. Now, we'll go over very quickly. I'm not going to get too deep into that because I kind of already got into it in my wrong place. Go to the left. Yep, you need to follow this one. I know, don't worry. I kind of got too a little bit deeper into it also in my review and in my how to vehicle. But in general, as I showed you before, I'm just gonna use things randomly just to show you. This is what it looks like swerving. Your guy's gonna start making strange maneuvers all over the place. But what it does is increases your evasiveness, make it much harder to actually hit you. Pretty nice. Next for our driver is going to be, boom, smash to the left, smash to the right. Deals damage to enemies, and you can also equip sidebars on your vehicles. I don't really have it right now, like spikes, to make it so you deal actually more damage. Let's use this nice thing, which is drift. Nice, right? Spinning around. It's not amazingly fast because I was driving slow, but if you drive fast then it's gonna look pretty cool. Mine looked kind of lame, but don't worry about it. Let's talk about our captain. Our captain, that's kind of something for the station. He can just zooms in with his stuff. But for his powers, our dude can call for fuel, as we said. It's gonna drop from the sky at some point. You'll be able to see it on the map. You can see here in purple, collect. So it's right behind me. It's gonna slowly fall from the ground. It's gonna take like maybe a minute. You need to wait here for like a minute for it to drop. And then you need to go over, pop the chest, and it's gonna give you the stuff. Next thing is gonna be backup. Backup is kind of funny to use because it's always gonna spawn behind you, so behind the camera. So if I look like this, and I spawn it like that, I can kind of control where they spawn. When you see the boom, boom, they spawned in front of me. See? You need to wait for the boom. This one's going to give you, as we said, 50% more experience. You'll be able to see it right here on top right. This one is going to call a bigger vehicle. Let's actually do this. Hop. I think I might have spawned him behind me anyway. I think that's him. And this one is going to actually show you nearby caches. Also useful. If you check here right on the map, you'll be able to see that to my right over there, there's going to be a bunch of stuff. Now, next is our drummer. Our drummer automatically jumps around. He gives those guys we saw at the base, he gives them the buff. But if you want to increase the range, press space. Boom, see, range increased. Now, beside that, you also have skills like make it so you're fast, which is, I guess we need to speak about this guy first. This system, this skill is going to charge faster once you use this. Next one is going to be stun. This one is going to make it so worms around you, sandworms, won't be as attracted to you. They will kind of leave you alone. This one's going to bring in rain, nice against the fire that some of the people do. Next one is going to be healing. And then we finally go on to the gunner, which doesn't have a lot of stuff to play with, basically just two of them. This one is just a very basic, give me more damage. So he's going to do more damage per shot. Very useful to hit this before you hit this. So then this skill, because it's an auto aim, is going to actually deal more damage. And you can see that this is recharging. You saw it recharging, and once it's done, it's going to do like an opposite thing. It's going to start charging the other way around. The hell is this sound? So once you see, no, wrong place. You see now it's almost done. Let's wait for it to actually be finished, and then you will see it will start recharging the other way around. You see now it's going back up. And once it's going to be full, you'll be able to use it again up to 4 times. Up to 5 times, 4 times left for me, because I just used it right now. And that's pretty much it for the entire thing about your crew. It could be a bit confusing, especially at the start when you don't know what the hell you're doing. But later on, as you play, things become a little bit more simple, to the point where I think it's really not complex, especially with how many of the clothes are not really useful. So, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, let me know why so I can improve. Besides, keep us safe. See you on the next one. Bye bye.